The feeling of hitting the ball without releasing your wrists is very similar to hammering a nail into wood. Because what happens is you're not going to swing the hammer back and then swing it down. You carefully move it into place while creating an angle in your wrist, and then the arm comes down, the hand stabilizes the hammer and goes bam. So all of the force is happening at the nail, not on the way back and not on the way down. The force happens at the nail. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a tee, you're going to put it in the ground next to the ball, a couple inches away, and actually without the ball first. I angle this tee at about 45 degrees in the ground. Doesn't have to be exact, but we're using a visual to imagine that I'm hitting the top of the tee with the center of my club face at this angle into the ground. So if you imagine that you're driving this tee down at an angle into the ground with the face of your club being the hammerhead, what would it look like? Would it look like this? No, it wouldn't, because this is a very small surface area. So is the club head or the hammerhead. So you need to stabilize the wrist and then turn and fire into the ball without releasing the hammer early. You probably break your wrist and miss the nail if your hand goes this way. If we're hammering something, we go to here, there, bam, bam. So this does come undone a little bit, but through the hit of the hammer. So nail down. Okay, most of you struggle with compression. Go down from right here and just turn the body. I need you to turn your body down, slightly release. Practice drill for this is to put 80% of your weight in your left side, move the hammerhead up, drive the hammerhead down at the same angle that our tee or our nail is pointing out of the turf. I described this in some of the earlier videos as well, but this is a great drill to do on the range before you start hitting balls. You're going to work on tempo and attack angle. Okay, you want to hit down on the ball, drive the nail into the turf, hammer the nail down. Okay, use the face of the club. After you take those practice cuts without a ball, just put a ball there, leave the tee there. That's your visual cue. And you're going to do the same thing. So you're not going to swing the club away. You're moving it away like it's a hammer. You're going to set the wrist angle right here, just like you would with a hammer. And then you're going to drive it down and through. And then the ball is just going to pop off the club face. Look where my club head finished. Next, you're going to get a towel, because we're going to work at stopping our hands after firing them. Sounds pretty weird, right? How am I going to stop my hands after firing them? If you've ever whipped somebody with a towel, you know exactly what that feels like, because you have to give a little strike, but then pull your hand back. It's almost like a recoil. Okay, you're recoiling. So you're going to try to do this with both hands. Recoil. So we're going to hit and recoil. Hit and recoil. Hit and recoil. That ball is dead straight. What this does is stabilizes your club face through the impact zone. Okay? If your balls are crazy curve and going all over the place, the club head is releasing too much through the impact zone, either that way or this way. This hit and stop recoil feeling will keep the club face square for longer through the hitting zone. Okay, so you're gonna hit and recoil. It's the feeling of snapping a towel where you're stopping your hands. And you're gonna include this idea of this brick wall right in front of you, stopping your hands in the club head before it enters the brick wall. And that is really going to teach you the feeling of compression. See where I stopped? Hands ahead of the club, club face completely square to the target. This brick wall not even in my space because I didn't release the wrists earlier, the hands. And that is how you compress a golf ball. At the end of the day, there's no secret to golf. There's only information, and you either know it or you don't. So once you know the information, it's up to you to go practice. And I promise that if you actually put in the time and you actually do the drills and you don't just fire balls off, you will get better. And that's why golf is so cool, because you put in the time and you will get the results. I absolutely promise you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you like instruction like this, where I'm just on the range and we're hanging out and I'm teaching you, let me know, because I'm going to do a lot more of that. Hit the subscribe and like button, share this video. Have an awesome day. Later.